Not the music. All right, good afternoon, KW South Bay. How's everyone doing? Come on, we can do better than that. Come on, I need the energy. It's halfway through the year. Can you believe we're already in June? Wow, this year is going rapid fire. Again, KW South Bay, how's everyone doing today? Okay, much better. You guys ready? We got a jam-packed and a lot of great stuff providing you today, so I'm super excited. Before we get started, please make sure to silence your phones. If we hear your phone go off, you will contribute $25 to KW Cares. Okay? We're still trying to collect from Joe McMahon, by the way. Do so. Please do so. All right, let's continue. Next slide. All right. Our mission, our belief, and our vision to provide an agent with a place where they will be empowered, trained, and motivated to experience growth, wealth, and a legacy that allows them to live their best life possible. Our belief, when the values of your own company align with your own beliefs, you know you found your professional home. And our vision, to achieve amazing professionals and personal development so that KW South Bay remains the agency of? Sure. Absolutely. Yes. All right, let's continue. All right. Announcement. Okay. Stephanie's not going anywhere but upstairs. She's been promoted, and now she'll be part of our Pacific Coastline Escrow. She is going to be now an escrow assistant upstairs. Yes. Stephanie, come up here real quick. We're so excited for this opportunity for her and very happy for you. So any words you'd like to share with us?
Just that I'm happy I'm not going too far, so I still get to stay connected to all of you guys.
Yes.
And now you guys have to come up to escrow and get to know all the ladies up there. And I think we're gonna plan maybe like a happy hour, some kind of official grand opening. So I'm gonna try to take lead on that and get you all invited to come upstairs.
Awesome.
And Crystal, your new director of First Impressions, it's doing really great. She's very sweet, and I think you guys will all like her a lot. Doing my best to train her well.
Yes. Awesome. All right, Stephanie. Amazing. And that brings us to our new director of First Impression, Ms. Crystal Vasquez. Come up here, Crystal. Yes. So this is your new director of First Impression. Say hi. Yes, she is so lovely. I got to thank the staff and the leadership. We dissected so many people, and then we found this amazing individual as to take on the responsibility up front. Her personality is amazing. She comes in positive with a big smile, and we are definitely looking forward to being in business with you. So let's give it up to Crystal Vasquez. Anything you'd like to share so far, your experience with us?
Long permitting waits to homelessness has been disrupting patients. So,
beautiful. She took on Stephanie's position. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Thank you, Crystal. And Crystal, do you speak Spanish? Poquito. Okay. So fair game. All right, just a friendly reminder, our support team here, we obviously updated the image with Crystal Rowe now. So again, all of these individuals are here to support your business and your clients. Okay, it's not that you work for us, we work for you. All right, let's continue. Next slide, please. All right, I'd like to welcome our newest agents. Is Pam here? Delirium, I thought I saw her. There she is. Hello, say hi to everyone. Yes, yes. So she is coming back. She left KW and realized, you know what? I miss KW. I'm coming back. So welcome back. We really appreciate you. We're going to see some amazing stuff happening with her. It's summer here. I didn't see Summer. No Summer. Well, surprisingly, I got a call from Summer's mom yesterday, and I didn't know who she was. And she says, "Oh, by the way, I'm Summer's mother." We ended up looking at a UPS store that we're looking to purchase, and I wanted to kind of guide my daughter as this will be her first real estate transaction. I go, whoa, 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 wait a minute. You know, there's steps that we need to go. We had a very long conversation. I did not anticipate it was going to be a 30-minute conversation, but it was. Summer is one of the newest agent, part of Nina's productivity program. So if you do happen to see her, make sure to wish her and congratulate her for being part of the South Bay office. And then last but not least, we have Patty May. Is Patty May here? Hello, how are you? Stand up real quick, introduce yourself. Yes. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's continue. Next slide, please. All right, we have our KW anniversary. So if you are in this list, stand up, please. No June anniversaries. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, you're up there. So congratulations, Joe. How many years for KW?
All 10.
All 10. Not 9.5 or 9.25, but all 10. Beautiful. Well, we're definitely happy to have you part of the team. Thank you, Joe. Anyone else? Okay. Let's go on to birthdays. So do we have a cake, by the way? All right. All right. I want to wish all of the June birthdays. Do we have yeah. Yeah, we can put it in here. So it's not just for Simon, but I'll take the cake and eat it too. But let's anyone else who's a June birthday? No June? Stephen Ryan's birthday is actually today, but I know he doesn't show up. On the count of three, let's just wish everyone a happy birthday. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, dear June. And many more. Awesome. Thank you so much. Means so much. Let me blow the candle. Okay. Plenty of cake, guys. Please make sure to take some home too. That's a lot of cake. Yeah. So again, happy birthday to all of the June birthdays. All right, next. Let's continue. Next slide, please. If I can get Nina up here, por favor. Oh, wait a minute. Did we switch? Hold on one second. Never mind. Stand by. Okay. Yuki, come up here, Yuki. Yuki has officially capped with the company, so congratulations. Here's your capper plaque. Can anyone take a photo? Congratulations. Awesome. Tell us a little bit. How did you do it?
No idea.
Say I'm just lucky, but
There's no luck. Not in our industry.
I appreciate every single agent who I interact with here, especially Simon, my mentor, Salvador. I don't know if he's here, but Nina, Eric for his role play class. Everyone, I always come here and get advice, and this is how I did it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Awesome. Amazing. Does everyone know what that means? Getting a capper. Yeah, 100% of her commission goes to her now. So she closed all the deals 100%. So congratulations. That's awesome. All right, let's continue. Next slide, please. Who else do we have? Do we have anyone else? Kevin Park. Where's Kevin at? Wait a minute. Okay. He was here, but I think he had a slight emergency. Mom's not I think mom's at the hospital, so he did mention that he may not be here. But if you do see Kevin, please give him a high five and congratulate him. We have his capper here, so we'll give it to him when he comes back. All right, let's continue. Next slide. All right, Nina, come up here now, please. Let's give Nina a round of applause, please. Come on. Isn't Nina doing an amazing job? She is awesome.
I'm all right.
Now, you're the best.
I can't do it without the help of my mentors and all the agents that are doing the work.
Of course.
Just me. So I'm just very thankful that I have a great team that is very supportive, that the agents show up, they do the work. And because of that, we have all these shout outs. You know, we have a lot of reps, people in escrow, people with listings. So we're getting momentum. So keep doing the work and eventually it's going to convert. That's all I got to say about this because I want to see more people up here so we can get more shout outs.
Yeah, we should have at least 3 slides of just all of the.
I think you're right, Simon.
Yeah,
that's our goal
I
next
think
time.
so. Yeah.
Okay.
That way, but amazing and kudos and congratulations to the agents, to the mentors, to Nina, to the staff. You know, it takes momentum. It takes a village, right? It's not just an individual. It takes all of us supporting.
Yeah.
And just amazing. Jojo, I believe, is in Long Beach today, right?
Yeah, he's teaching a content creation class. And actually, I missed somebody there, but LaTanya just got a listing
Beautiful.
signed. And, you know, she just dived in with Roseli, and I'm very proud of everybody. So
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Awesome. All right, let's continue. Congratulations. Thank you, Nina. We have another slide for you. This is happening?
Yes, next week on Tuesday. So we actually have a booth at the South Bay Association of Realtors. We're going to do Summer Splash. So it's a community event, and it's a great opportunity to show people who KW South Bay is, what we bring to the table, and why they should join us. So if you want to be a part of our booth, please reach out to me. Register for it as well. I know there's going to be plenty of food, game trucks, games, food trucks. I think last year they had like a ice cream truck there. It was pretty good. So just come and join. It's free. And at least you can get some free food, you know, and join us at the booth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So leadership will be there
Yes.
with our booth. Do you need any volunteers?
Yes, if you can volunteer, that'd be great. Just let me know. That way we can alternate spaces and you have time to go around and mingle with other agents, because it's also important that you network with other agents from our area so that if one day you're in a deal with them, that it's easier to get that deal closed because you know them already.
Exactly. I really truly want to show KW South Bay as a strong force at the South Bay Association. And if you can make it, we'd love to have you there, right? It'll just show the way we are and the team that we are as a KW office.
Yes,
So
definitely.
that'll be next Tuesday, June 9th from 12:30 to 2:30 in the afternoon.
So it is free, but you do have to register for it because they have a list that they check in people.
Yeah.
Because every person that goes in will be entered to an opportunity raffle.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Awesome.
At the South Bay Association of Realtors. Yes. At the parking lot. Yeah. Gonna block off the whole parking lot for it. That's a good question. I think this is only for members. Yeah. Great question though. Okay. Any other questions? No, I'll see you there then.
Awesome. Thanks, Nina. Yeah, let's give her a floor. All right, Nat, let's continue. And if I can get Mark up here. Mark, I met last week. He just prospecting. He was basically what we do is door knock. He was, door knocking different real estate companies. He came out to the office. I was going to shoot him away, but then when he brought me the idea, I thought, wait a minute, this was pretty interesting. So let's give Mark Wiseman a round of applause, guys. Welcome, Mark. How are you?
So, and not selling the signs. When you see the signs, everybody's like, oh, how much for the sign? I'm selling the signs. But what we did is we developed an add-on to the signs because what we were noticing was people were taking paper, the time, the address, and slaps the branding, Take the time.
Put this on.
Oh, sorry.
People.
I thought it was the clicker.
Yeah, no.
Okay. And the tape marks damage the signs. So let me show you what our product is and what it does. And then I'll demonstrate. By the way, two-sided.
And it doesn't block your actual directional.
And then this one. And by the way, this is pending technology. It took us a year to develop, even though it looks pretty simple. And then I know this is a popular one here. And I'll just put this in. And then we can go to the next slide.
Why didn't I think of this?
So simple.
So simple.
So Simon told me you had 3 different signs. So I bought the 3 different signs that your office uses: the swinging sign, the PVC plastic sign, and what I call the sandwich sign. This one's real simple. Just need your screw. I'm not sure where you get your signs from. Sometimes the screw sizes are different, but if you lost your screws, we do have some extra, but it all depends on your sign. With this sign, the only thing that varies is sometimes the angle varies. So I'm going to give you a demonstration of how we put this in. We have different angles to match different signs. So you just tell me your sign or send me a picture. And by the way, we're offering free installation and delivery on this one. And I would bring multiple angles to make sure it fits your sign perfectly and it stands up straight. And this one is same sign, but a different technology. We couldn't put the metal plate on the inside, so we have it on the outside. And we have it in black and white if you have white signs. We can go to the next slide. Actually, yeah, let's go to the next slide. All right, so I told you, patent pending technology. So these are extra powered magnets, rust resistant. And when it snaps in the magnets, there's padding around here. Not only does it keep your paper in there, but it makes it water resistant. I'm not allowed to say waterproof, so water resistant. Stands up straight, two-sided. If this one is bigger than that one, because you want to make sure it goes over the pole. So, it's two-sided.
Next slide.
Nope, not yet.
Oh.
Easy to use, no tools, because there are some copycats coming out there. The copycats are trying to put these on here, really bulky, really hard to carry, really hard to put on and off. This is simple, but what do you guys have? You have a lot of wind here, right? This thing is strong. This one will not come off. This one is strong. It will not come off. This one is a little trickier because it only has this holding it in, but we have corners for your extra windy days that the product comes with. That just goes like this if you were concerned. It's not going to come off the sign, but I do find these signs might fall a little bit more. So if the sign falls, this falls. It goes like this. But it's really strong. You can slide it with this. So I just wanted to show how strong it is, but everything has its limits. But for an extra windy day, I would say use your corners. That's our product. Again, no tape marks. Do anyone here use tape to put sign riders? How much time does it take to put them on? And then what's worse, again, taking it off, and it saves you money because the wear and tear on the sign with all the tape marks, you need new signs quicker. And let's go to the next one.
I think, did Nat step out? Oh, okay.
So
Thank you.
basically, I'm going to stay after the meeting. If anyone wants to talk, I also have a little gift for everyone that's here. Everyone made it to the meeting instead of the Zoom. We have a nifty little tape measure that realtors can always use. So I have a whole bunch out there if you guys want. I would say I do have some samples or some with me if anyone wanted to purchase them now. But as I said, I am offering free delivery and installation to this area. And just call me on my cell or text me, and we'll start a conversation. Again, if you have the PVC, I'm just probably going to want a picture of it. And so I just want to, the one thing I forgot to show you is the metal piece that it comes with. So there's no tools. All we do is take off this extra strength adhesive and we put it on right here. And that's what the magnet attaches to. So the beauty of it, it's on my sign right here. I'm not sure if people can see it, but the beauty is you'll never know it's there. Sign folds, if my sign folds, and you don't know it's there. So you only put on the metal once. You keep these in your car. It snaps right on. And they all come in bubble wrap. And I left my other ones out there, but it also has two-sided scratch protection when you open it. So when you do order and you open, you just got to take off the plastic in the inside and the outside to just make it clear. And that's our product, add-on signs.
Awesome. He's going to stick around. So if you have any additional questions for him, he'll be here. So, all right,
Perfect.
thank you
I'll
very
leave it
much.
outside. Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you.
Let's take me a second.
This is so cool.
Yeah.
All right. If Zez, come on in. All right, let's give Accurate Termite Inspection a round of applause. How you doing, my man?
Thank you, Coach.
Yes. 1 second.
Thank you.
Now I got to pivot. So let's thank our food sponsor who brought us the amazing Panda Express. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome. My
Appreciate
pleasure.
it, my man.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, he's been trying for a very long time to come in, and we connected, and wanted to have the opportunity for you to kind of share what you do, and obviously the company. So welcome.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Like Simon said, my name is Z. I'm with Accurate Termite and Pest Control. And we service from LA down to San Diego and the Inland Empire. Real quickly, we do free termite inspections for escrow with a 2-business-day turnaround for the report. One of the things that we've done here at Accurate is we've found a little something called the internet. Some termite companies haven't quite gotten there, which is wild. You can actually scan this QR code that's on the flyer, and you can schedule your termite inspection online without ever having to call the office or call me and have to do that back and forth between you and your clients. It's like, oh, they don't have Tuesday available. Can you do Wednesday? They can't do Wednesday. Avoid that whole headache. So anyways, one of the things that I've realized as I've been to many real estate offices is as agents, you're expected to know everything about everything. Is that fair? Is that a fair statement? Yeah. You don't necessarily have to know everything about everything as long as you know someone who does know, has the answer to that question. So if you don't mind, I'd like to take my time here and just ask you a few questions and not necessarily test you, but just to see where you are. If you have, just to see where you are in your termite inspection knowledge. In order to make it a little bit more interesting, it's 4 questions. If anybody here gets all 4 questions correct, I will invite you to lunch, not Panda Express. We'll go somewhere else, but it's an open invitation to whoever answers all 4. You guys ready? Are you guys ready to take the challenge? Yes? No? Perfect. So if we can go to the next slide here. Which WDO plagues this piece of wood? Now, before we answer this, a WDO is a wood-destroying organism. Anytime you get a termite inspection, you're actually receiving a wood-destroying organism and termite report. In the industry, we just call it a termite inspection, but just so you know, for escrow, it's the WDO and termite report. So, which WDO plagues this piece of wood? A, termites, B, fungus dry rot, C, both, or D, neither. Raise your hand if you think this is termite damage. Show of hands. Nobody. Everybody thinks it's a perfectly good piece of wood? No, okay, so it's not D, so we're good there. Who thinks it's both? Raise your hand. And I think I skipped B, okay, quite a few of you. Who thinks this is fungus and dry rot? Raise your hand. 1, 2, a couple in the back. Okay, well, I'd love to say I'm taking everybody who said it's both, but next slide, please. It will surprise you. This is termite damage. Anytime the wood looks like it's been eaten from the inside out, there's tunnels or channels, and you'll see droppings. This is clear evidence of termite damage. This is evidence you can see, okay? Is that surprising to anybody? Yes, no? All right. Next question, or next slide, which is going to be the same question, just a different picture. Now, I did this presentation a while ago, and I had an office get all riled up. We are only looking at the green here. Don't look at this here, because it looks like a nail's been in there. But anyways, we're only looking at the green. So just to keep the peace here. Which WDO plagues this piece of wood? Raise your hand if you think this is termites. Nobody. All right. B, fungus and dry rot. Okay, a couple of hands went up. C, who thinks this is both? Nobody. All right. Who thinks this is neither? Who thinks this is a perfectly good piece of wood? One in the back. I appreciate you. One here. Okay. So the answer might surprise you as well. This is, next slide. This is neither. This is just old paint on a piece of wood. This is not something. This is not something that would be in your termite inspection report. The termite inspection report's not interested in anything that's not aesthetically pleasing. This is just old paint on a piece of wood. It would not be on your termite inspection report. All right, next slide, please. We're going to have the same question, same answers, just a different picture here. Which WDO plagues this piece of wood? Raise your hand if you think this is termite damage. A couple in there. All right, thank you. Who thinks this is fungus and dry rot? Okay, a couple more. All right, appreciate you in the back. Who thinks this is both? A few more. Fantastic. Who thinks this is a perfectly good piece of wood? Okay, good. I was worried somebody would say this is a perfectly good piece of wood. Next slide. This is actually fungus and dry rot. Anytime the wood looks sunken in or muddy or just crumbles like this, that's just fungus and dry rot that's damaged that piece of wood. This is something that you would find in your termite inspection report, or it is a wood destroying organism. Next slide. Okay, just same question, same everything, different picture. This is an up close of a fence. This is the post of the fence coming up, as these are the wood slides coming across here, okay? Same question, which WDO plagues this piece of wood? Raise your hand if you think this is termite damage. Nobody, all right. Fungus and dry rot? Hands, no, all right. Both? Who thinks this is a perfectly good piece of wood? Raise your hand. I see some of y'all didn't answer. I hope I didn't scare y'all off. Can we go to the next slide, please? This is termite damage. This is a pen, and that is a pen going right into that piece of wood. The homeowner, I believe this was an HOA. The HOA is like, oh, our fence is fine. We don't need to do the inspection. And I hate to show this during lunch, but that's not sand. I'll just leave it at that. You can click over to the next slide because this could be gross. Yeah, that's where we say the probe inspection for the win. Anytime you do a termite inspection for escrow, we strongly recommend you get both a visual inspection and a probe inspection. The probe inspection is designed to find any damage that is already present that is not visible. As you saw in the last in the little video, it looked like there was no damage in that one, right? If a pen can do that to a piece of wood, that piece of wood is damaged and needs to be replaced. So just because the wood looks like it's fine, it could be a fresh coat of paint and it's covering up damage. That's the intention here. The inspector's not trying to damage your home. He's not trying to damage your client's home. He's just looking for damage that's already there that's not visible. So we strongly recommend anytime you do a termite inspection for escrow, you get both a visual and a probe inspection. And the last slide here, this is just a reminder. You can schedule online. Like I mentioned earlier, this is a free termite inspection that we provide, one per listing. We cover most of Southern California. So if you have any questions regarding this, feel free to reach out to me. I'll stay around till the end of the meeting if you want to talk. I do, on a personal note, I do this thing called tacos and termites. It's not as gross as you think. It's not termite tacos. It's just, it's an open, I see, I don't think anybody got all four right, correct? No? Okay, just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anybody. It's an open invitation. If you want to reach out, I'd love to meet with you and We can talk about the termite industry, get some tacos, or just get tacos if you're grossed out by the termites. So anyways, that's my time. Thank you, everybody. Hope you have a great day.
Thank you very much. Good presentation. I love it. All right, listing pitches, buyer needs and wants. Anyone? Stand up. Introduce yourself.
All right, hello, everybody. My name is Emmanuel Hamilton. I came over from Beach Cities as well with Tammy Fisher and and Brandon.
Yes.
I did have a listing that just came on board 5 days ago. In the city of Long Beach and the International Towers. That's the one that looks like Tower Records, the circular one. 3-bedroom, 2-bath. If you have any clients that have an active lifestyle, close to the beach, close to the entertainment, dining, the Long Beach Grand Prix, they got front row seats right there. So going to Brokers Open tomorrow from 10 to 1 if you want to stop by, and then an open house this Saturday and Sunday from
Beautiful.
Oh, 830.
How much it is?
HOA is 1122 and 1 cent.
What does the HOA consist of? What does it cover? Does it have a gym? Okay.
4-hour security. Even got a place where if you have guests that come in, they can rent a guest spot out over there. So
How much parking?
there's one parking spot.
How many bedrooms again?
3 bedrooms.
3-2.
1,260 square.
Awesome. Good. So if you have any buyers that are interested, here's your go-to in Long Beach. All of the local amenities and great restaurants there too as well. Yeah, awesome. Appreciate it. Anyone else? Buyer needs and wants, you coming soon. Are we working this summer? I hope so. All right. Well, let's go ahead and continue if no one else. All right. All right. Next slide. Let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Jay Tan. Where's Jay Tan? What's happening? How you doing? Here you go. Give us a quick 30-minute bio of you, please. I meant to say 3 minutes, 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
30 minutes.
The session should be about.
Much to share.
That's long-winded. I meant to say 30-second bio of you.
Yeah, hi. So for those of you that I haven't met, my name is Jay Tan. I've been a realtor for about 7 years now. Been with KW the entire time. Prior to that, I was actually lived overseas, did recruitment, was an engineer. So I've applied a lot of like my analytical process mind to how we do real estate. And as we get into farming and kind of how I farm, you'll see how I kind of apply some of that knowledge into what we do to make it more practical, because I like keeping things as simple as possible. And as much as we see all these new tools and all this stuff going on in real estate, you'll hear like my process. And it's actually very, very simple. And a lot of that has to do with how my brain works and how I am as an engineer as a background. So that's a quick 30-second spill.
All right, let's continue. Next slide. So we want to talk about, 10x your farming, right? And the reason I wanted to touch on this is because I think during the summer, this is vital. If you really want to level up your production and close deals as we close out the next 6 months, I thought of Jay, because Jay has been able to penetrate an area that is saturated with a lot of agents from other brokerages, but he's still doing high-level listing appointments and closing deals. So plan to see consistently over time builds consistency in your business, right? So choose a community, create value, deliver the consistency, and become the ambassador of that neighborhood. Next slide, please. So farming is a long game. So who thought it was quick and easy? I'm going to just farm and I'm going to pick up these listings, right? Oh, it doesn't work that way. Jay, tell us, how long did it take you to ultimately hit that specific area that you focus on?
So for me, my first listing came from my farm. It took about a year and a half. And that was actually the first listing in the farm. But a lot of that isn't just about getting that first listing, right? Because there was other activity that I was doing that came from my farming activity. Like, for example, I was doing a lot of open houses in the farm. And so actually my very first deal that I got from my farming activity came from a buyer that I picked up from an open house in that farm that didn't even buy in that area. He actually ended up buying somewhere else. But I was able to pick up the buyer from that open house. And then now he's actually bought 4 homes with me. And that actually happened within, I want to say, the first 3 months of me starting to go doing my farming, what I call my farming activities. And one of them is obviously doing open houses in the area. So it is obviously, you want to pick up listings, you want to get as many listings as you can and you know, be a face of that neighborhood. But there's other things that you can do that generates revenue generating activity that will help you in other areas too. Right? So.
Yeah, so where most agents quit, you know, is when it's just not consistently, right? Mailers, events, 30 days, they decide, you know what, I'm not getting any results from this. I'm going to just pivot into something else. Where individuals like Jay, you know, they look at the momentum, they look at the long game, right? 12, 24 months. As he said, it took him a year and a half to ultimately get his first listing, right? But it's consistent branding too, and you know, touches as well. Next slide. So choosing a community, right? You got to find the area that you want to focus, but that there's a big turnover, conversions, right? People are moving in, selling properties as well. So choose a farm area, right? Know the local schools. So Jay, talk us a little bit about why you chose that specific area.
So I mean, everybody's gonna have their unique little situation, right? My situation basically, so my farm is in West Torrance. So I do a lot in West Torrance. Why I was vested in West Torrance was because I was actually looking to move in the area myself. So that was my like kind of like go-to thing, was that I was actually going around door knocking and meeting people, and my conversations were around, hey, look, I'm actually looking to move into the area because, everybody okay? Yeah, no, because I had kids that were looking to go into school there. Schools there are great. It's known for the school. So we were trying to look to move in the area, and people appreciated, you know, me going and knocking on the door because of that. I wasn't there necessarily looking for a listing directly, but I was saying, hey, look, if you're looking to sell, I'm looking to buy directly. Hopefully we can help each other out. Obviously, you know, if that house wasn't right for me and didn't work out, then I can also be there to help you potentially sell, right? And so that was actually my motivation in going into that neighborhood initially. Over time, I you know, got to know neighbors, I got to know the people there, the area, and you know, it turned out to be a very, very good farm. Right?
Yeah, love that. So if you look at this slide here, you know, farming is know the schools, know the restaurants, know the inventory, know the people, and would probably represent the neighborhood, right? And what makes a strong farm is, you know, this is again kind of a trajectory, right? What does your target farm look like, Jay?
So yeah, on this, so actually I was very ambitious when I started. My farm was like 6,500 homes, which was way too big, way too big. So whoever wants to start farming and want to take on this large area, it's not to say you can't do it, but one of the reasons why it was so hard, because 6,500 homes, door knocking 100 doors a day, 5 days a week, it would take me almost 6 months to do it. And what I started realizing was that by the time I came back around to them, they didn't remember who I was anymore. And so that consistency of touches and getting in front of them, it just wasn't having an influence, right? So it went down from 65 to like 45. And right now I'm doing about 2,500. And I felt, for me, in what terms of just how much time and I could do the activities, that worked for me. I would say, you know, like, and that's me doing about 1,000 doors a month. So if So you got to look at what is your commitment in terms of how are you getting in front of these doors, because you also don't want to have a big farm. If they have a big farm, but if you're not able to get through to them, then quite honestly, you're not generating enough contact points to make them remember you,
Yeah,
right?
love that. Critical mistakes agents choose based on affordability alone. Choose where you can become visible, right? Where people like Jay, people know who you are. Eventually, they're going to know J10. J10 is with KW, J10, right? So utilizing that parameter in place, which I know, we all want to do 10,000, doors or a neighborhood or a zip code or a city, but eventually you got to make sure that you're visible consistently. That's the key. Next slide. All right, newsletter strategies. The newsletter is all about selling. It's about becoming useful, right? So tell us a little bit of what that looks like for you, Jay.
So when I first started in this farm, there was a couple of heavy hitters that are already in my farm. And so I saw their newsletters, right? So you got to know your competition. Saw kind of what they had. Their newsletter was a lot of information about obviously what's going on in the community, what's going on in the neighborhood, a lot about themselves. They would talk about sports and just a lot of stuff on there. There's a lot of words. So like I said, my brain doesn't work that way. So my brain, like as an engineer, I like seeing data, I like seeing numbers. So when I started making my flyers, I wanted my flyers to be different than everybody else. And I wanted to be as simple as possible. So what I did was on my flyers, all I do on my flyers is I have a section that just says what's on the market. I have a section that says what's in escrow. And I have a section that says what just sold, right? It's front and back. And on the back, I have a map of West Torrance. And I just have, okay, green is everything active. Yellow is everything in escrow. Red is everything that's already sold. So I have my charts and I have a map. And that is my flyer. And obviously, my information. And so the feedback that I got from a lot of people is that it's simple and people can see it. And actually, people love pictures, right? So they love the map because they love seeing, oh, this household here, this household there. So that was the feedback I got, and that resonated with me because that's also how I look at things. So whatever it is in terms of what you want to put on your newsletter strategies, no, I don't say there's a right and a wrong, but I will say that you got to make it make sense for you, because if it makes sense for you, hopefully that'll resonate with your audience. And so that's what's worked for me. So I would say keep it as simple as possible. You want, realistically, what are people doing with these newsletters? They're having a quick glance and they're throwing it away. So in that quick glance, how can you make that quick glance go from 2 seconds to 15 seconds or 2 seconds to 10 seconds, whatever it is. And if they see it enough, every 10 seconds, every month, then hopefully they'll remember you, right? So
love that. Yeah, that's really good. All right, let's continue. Next slide. Yeah, I like that. The shorter, the better. Delivery and consistency, mailing monthly, the local businesses. How many people are hitting the local businesses? You know that business owners also have real estate. And guess what? They own multiple real estate as well. So don't just think of it from a house perspective. If that neighborhood has local businesses, make yourself present. Ask if you can leave marketing material as well. So anything to add on this, Jay?
So I'm going to give you some feedback. I was talking to Simon about this. I wanted to see if it was worth sharing my experience. So when I first started door knocking, what I did was, okay, so I was doing 100 doors. I would get the phone numbers of the 100 people that I would be door knocking. And what I would do is I would go and leave my flyers. And then at the end of the day, I would send everybody a text saying, hey, my name is Jay. I just came out your door. I just left the flyer, just to kind of, reinforce that. I got a lot of FUs. Stop coming by my house. Don't leave flyers. And so I learned from that was that it's a good follow-up, right? It is. And it's another point of contact. But I felt that people felt that it was even more spam than you wanted it to be. Meaning that, they're getting an unsolicited flyer, which some people are okay with, some people are not. But then they're also getting a text from you now too. They haven't even met you. So I felt that my first contact point should be actually meeting in person. And that's what I do very well. And so I stopped doing this, Right now, that doesn't mean that you guys can't do it. That just means it didn't work out for me, right? So that's just my experience. I don't do this anymore because I feel like I want to meet the person first before I start, cold calling them and whatnot. Okay, but that's just my experience.
Well, and to your point, Jay, I think what we can do is once you build that relationship with someone, right, and get their contact information and their permission, then you put them into your drip campaign, and then that's kind of a more of a warm call than a cold call, right? So, all right, let's continue. Next slide. All right, building a real estate farm. What it takes, again, if you're going to be out there hitting the doors, especially in the summer, right? You gotta wear comfortable clothing, right? Comfortable shoes, but wear the uniform, right? Run events, open house regularly, right? Handwritten notes, and reinvest into the brand. Jay, anything on this that you'd like to share?
Yeah. So again, when I first started, after everybody that spoke with me, I would actually handwrite a note and send it to them. So when I first started, I actually gave out $5 Starbucks gift cards in those handwritten notes to say, hey, thank you for speaking with me. And obviously, I was very green, didn't know exactly. So I would just got very expensive, obviously. So I stopped doing that. But I think it was good that the handwritten notes, especially for those few people that, didn't know who I was and had, spent 10 minutes talking to me. Those people that I'm still seeing today are still, I still remember them, they still remember me. So, obviously, if you're talking to 30 people a day, it's hard to do 30 handwritten notes. It's a lot. But handwritten notes are maybe those one great conversation that you had that day, just to say, hey, thank you for your time. I think that is really helpful, and it is very memorable because, again, nobody does do the thing that nobody else does, right? Nobody sends notes handwritten anymore. And I think that makes you will stand out versus everybody else out there.
Get your kids to write them for you.
Yeah.
Leverage the kids. But as long as they have good penmanship.
But then I'll look like a third grader. So I mean,
not saying that you're a third grader.
Quality of the stuff.
You got to qualify them first.
Yeah,
All right, do 100 of these before we get actual sent out.
Right.
Yeah, awesome. All right, let's continue. Next slide, please. All right, so year of consistency creates, right? The 12 business relationship, hundreds of local touches, strong neighborhood recognition, active listing conversations, referral flowing in, right? And growing your database. When someone in that neighborhood thinks of real estate, they think of you. That is, sharing the market. So I think it's vital. Again, this is not something that you're going to do, overnight or a couple months. It has to be consistently, and you have to grind all the time in order to see the return in your investment, right? This is just one alternative. As we progress, we're going to give you other ideas and tactics and strategies. This is just one that works very, very well for Jay. So anything else to add to this?
I mean, it's a lot of just reiterating the fact of consistency. I think farming, that's what it is, right? You're not going to get, not to say you're not going to get, because I remember I did a Ignite class and somebody went door knocking their first week in their farm and got a listing out of it. And that was like, holy cow. I mean, that's awesome, obviously, but it's not expected every time, right? So the big point on this is just make sure you do it consistently. And over time, it will pay off because nobody does it consistently. So the ones that do it consistently are the ones that are going to stand out and the ones that people are going to remember, right? So that I would say that's probably the big part of all this.
Love that. All right, let's continue. Next slide. The brutal truth about farming, right? So I know we were talking about this, Jay. So the 4 failure patterns, right? You stop too early, change branding consistently, only market when desperate, focus on leads instead of relationship. And I know, Jay, you wanted to talk a little bit about that, right?
Yeah.
So, the consistency beats intensity, right? And I'm trying to get business, or am I trying to own the market, right? These are the completely different mindsets to have. So I know we were talking about focus on leads instead of relationships.
Yeah, and he has that in one of the failure patterns. And I think that's one of the big things for anybody that is going to do a farm. Whatever it be, how you're getting out to the people. I think the biggest thing, and this is kind of something that you guys should remember, don't go into it thinking I'm going to get a listing. Don't go into it thinking I'm going to get a lead. Don't go. you have your numbers you want to hit, how many doors you want to hit, right? But you should go into it thinking about how I'm going to build that relationship. And those are the type of conversations you should be having. And quite honestly, like a lot of conversations I have with people that open up their doors isn't about, hey, look, can I sell your house? All right. It may lead to that eventually, but it's never the first part of the conversation. It's more of, hey, my name is Jay. I'm a local realtor here. How you doing? Oh, great. How long you been living here for? Oh, what do well, great. You have kids, or did they go to schools here? And it's just about building relationships. And that should be the approach that you have. And if you use that approach and you really believe in that approach, it will show. If you don't believe in that approach and you're kind of just, hey, yeah, how's your kids? Oh, by the way, you're looking to sell. It'll also show as well. So make sure you guys are going into it, building that relationship, knowing that it's a long game. Because if you go into that way, you will build relationships, right? And that's the key thing about farming, I think.
Yeah, awesome. Next slide. This is just a quick little image. Let's say you hosted an open house, or you picked up a listing, right? Just target the areas, right? Local shops, local schools, local neighborhood, apartment complexes. You got a lot of people that rent, right? And can't afford to purchase. They just don't know the direction, right? And you just happen to hit a apartment complex that has 50 or 100 units, right? Make yourself present, right? And focus on opportunities. Next slide. And then the last is, this is what 10x farming is really about. Anyone can post on social media. Very few agents become embedded in the community. The agents who dominate neighborhoods are not the most talent. They are the most consistent, visible, and trusted in the area, right? So those are the three pillars, in my opinion, is consistency, being visible in front of people. People know who you are. And then obviously, with that comes trust, right? People do business with you when they like you and trust you. Final thoughts, Jay.
It's funny. Simon showed me this presentation about 30 minutes ago. And I thought he hit on the key points of what farming really is by these three values. You have to be consistent. And through consistency, they're going to see you. Once they see you enough and know that you're local and you're there, they will trust you. And they will trust you not because, oh, you have this great flyer. They're not trusting you because of all these other aesthetics, right? They're trusting you because they've spoken to you, they've talked to you, and they know you. And you built that relationship, right? And that's what it is. And once you have that trust, then they're going to come to you not just because they want to sell their house, but they're going to come to you because, hey, I need a lawyer because I heard my uncle is going to get a divorce. I just got an email saying, hey, my sister is getting a divorce. Can you help find a lawyer for her that can help her with that? So they're coming to you about everything because they trust you at that point, right? And so go into it with the right intention. Go into it with mindset that you're thinking about this long term. Because if you do it and you do it consistently enough, the results will come. And Nina said earlier, everybody has to put in the work, right? But it's a consistency. I can't harp on that enough. That's a difference maker. The blueprint is quite a quote unquote easy. The blueprint is so easy. And I'm surprised that nobody else farms as much because I see Al over there. He's like the OG farmer over there, right? Everybody should be doing it, especially as a new agent. You should be farming the hell out of wherever you live or wherever you are, because if you do it enough, long enough, you will get business.
J10, everyone.
All right. Good.
We're good, bro. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, let's get up Chris Rivera with Arbor Financial. Let's give him a round of applause, please. We're at the home stretch, guys. What's up? There you go. Let me get you all mic'd up here.
Hey, look at it. Okay, can you guys hear me? All right, perfect. I'm going to give you a market update, and then I wanted to present something to you that a lot of people have actually asked me over the last couple of weeks, and I thought this was a good thing just to bring it out to you. Some of it will be just a refresher, but market is still pretty much stable, right in the mid sixes, depending on the loan amount. Conforming is about 6.25. Jumbo pricing, high balance is about 6.5. FHA is still about 5.5 to 5.7, depending on your FICO score, down payment. So rates have kind of stabilized. They are off the lows of this year back in February, but they're still like great areas for you guys to still capitalize for the summer months. So that's where the market is. But as I said in the beginning, I wanted to present this to you because a lot of people have asked me, they're calling in. This is an investor loan. So the thing is, with an investor, you have to understand more than 25% of all real estate transactions out there are done by an investor, right? So if you don't know this loan or these loans, you're doing yourself a disservice, right? Because these are the newfangled investor loans. It's a DSCR loan. Natalie, next slide. So the old way that we would look at an investor or an investment loan is we'd look to see what's the cash flow and can this borrower handle the debt load of that cash flow. So basically, we just look at what the rent collected was on whatever you're buying. We'll give you 75% of that. Pit that against the mortgage payment that you now have from that loan. And is that a positive or negative cash flow? Most of them are negative cash flow. So we just treat that just like any other debt, like a car loan, student loan, credit card, that sort of thing that you would have on a recurring basis. And then we'll see if you qualify. The problem is when you do that, you throw it into their current situation. They've bought a house, they've got a high car payment, they may have student loans, they have other expenditures through the month, so they're not really qualifying. So it was really tough to get a lot of investor loans approved the old way, right? Because we had to look at everything. We did full documentation. We got their tax returns, their W-2s, their pay stubs, their bank statements, all that stuff. And what was on their tax returns sometimes hurt them, right? Because they had other properties. And you'll find that the people who buy investments, they have more than just one property. They'll have multiple properties. When you look at their tax returns, they write off a lot or they have depreciation. So their income is a lot lower for them to qualify for. So in walk these DSCR loans. And what it stands for is debt service coverage ratio. And just think about that for a moment. So it's the debt service, which is the mortgage payment, and it's the cover ratio, meaning what is the amount of income collected on that property. We're just looking at cash flow. That's it. So these loans now are what we call non-QM loans. So we got away from the guidelines and they allow us, next slide, Natalie, they allow us now to qualify these loans a little bit differently. We are now looking at what is the rent collected on that property, right? If it's units, we're going to total up all the units. We're going to get that rental income. And then we're going to look at the mortgage payment. And now we want to see, is it a positive cash flow, negative cash flow, or break even? So there's actually 3 tiers. And basically what you're doing is, let's say the rent's collected is $10,000. If the mortgage payment is $10,000, that's a break even. That's a 1, right? If the rent's collected are only $7,500, or I'm sorry, the mortgage payment is only $7,500, you now have a positive cash flow. And in this case, is 1.3. Now you're in the top tier because you're over 1.25. If your income is less than what the mortgage payment is, now you're below 1, and this case is 0.8. You're now in the third tier, 0.75. Why is that important? Because the tier is what your interest rate is based off of. We look to see if it's a tier 1, which is a positive cash flow. Is it just a break even, maybe a little bit positive cash flow? Then you're in tier 2. Tier 3 is just below a break even. You got a little negative on it, right? Up to 0.75. And we actually go down to a fourth one, which is what we call no ratio. Now, of course, the no ratio comes a higher interest rate and probably a larger down payment. And the reason for that is because there's more risk to the investor, right? So that's how we price them. We're going to look at the rents collected. We're going to pit it against the mortgage payment, decide what tier you're in, and then based on your FICO score and other parameters, we're going to be able to give you an interest rate. But the beauty of this is the newfangled DSCR loan comes with no income documentation required from the client. I don't look at their pay stubs. I don't look at their tax returns. I don't look at their W-2s. We don't care about them. We only care about their FICO score and their asset base. What's their credit report look like, right? And do they have the necessary down payment, closing costs, and reserves necessary for the program? And if so, then what tier are they in? And they can get that loan. Okay, this is about as close as you can get to stated income. Next slide. So it's not true stated income because we're not stating any income for that client. What we're basically doing is looking at the cash flow of that property. And in this case, we're going to look at the rent rolls. If it's currently occupied with a tenant in it, we're going to look at that true rental income for that tenant. If it's vacant, we're going to look at the market rent survey. So when the appraiser gets and does the appraisal, he'll tell us exactly what that market rents are for that property, and that's what we use. We don't go off a percentage. We go off the actual either rental income or the market rent survey, whatever they tell us. And at that point, we just look to see what's the cash flow on it, right? So all we're really doing is get 2 months bank statements from the client. We're getting the appraisal. The application really has basic information about the client, and we're pulling a credit report. We're looking at the asset information ID. That's it. These are the new investor loans. They're called DSCR, debt service coverage ratio. Now, we can also do these not just to 1 to 4 units, which you guys are used to us talking about, residential financing. We'll actually do these for apartment loans. We'll do these 5 to 12 units. So once you get something in that 5, 6, 7, 8 units, we will still do them. Unfortunately, we can only do 75% LTV on these loans. Yes.
Are they 30 years loans?
Yes.
What?
These are all 30-year fixed. They do offer now ARMs, so we'll have 10-year, 7-year, and 5-year ARMs, but most are written with a 30-year fixed. Yes.
Are there any minimum? What is the minimum down payment on any tier that is then being required?
Right.
We know all the 5+ units are now back to 75%.
Right. Exactly. No, that's a good question. Okay, and that's going to be the next slide. So thanks for asking that question. He asked, what is the LTVs on these? So most of them are at 25%. That's your typical investment, but you can get 20% down. But with that comes you're off Main Street pricing. You're not at the sweet spot, so the interest rate's a little bit higher, and I've got a slide to show you that. Next slide. So let's look at that scenario. So this is a 25% down. Someone's buying something at 1.2. They're putting 25% down. That's $30,000. I'm sorry, $300,000. Their loan amount is $900,000. If they have a positive cash flow, remember they're in tier 1 because they're 1.25 or above on that DSCR test. This is today's rate. On a 1-unit place, they're at 6.75. Multiple units at 7%. If we priced out a full doc right now investment loan, 1 unit would be 6.75. So there's really no hit to do these DSCR loans. They just allow the investors to qualify a lot easier. So when you guys are out there talking, and as Jay says, when you're out there door knocking and you're talking to someone, they're sitting on a lot of equity. They want to buy investment properties. They don't think they can because they probably can't qualify. They can qualify based on these type of products, right? Even if it's 1, the rate's 6.875, 7% for units. We'll do it down to 0.75. The rate's still really good. It's at 7%. You got to remember, owner occupied right now is about 6.5%. Non-owner is about 7%. And these are all investment DSCR loans. They will do the no ratio, but you can see how the rate jumps, right? Because it's really a lot of risk to the investor, but it's something that can be done. Slide 2. So I also wanted to show you a 20% down because we can do those too, but you can see how the price jumps. If you're still at very high tier, rates aren't that bad. But once you start getting below 1, they start to jump, and they don't do a no ratio at 20% down. And this is only 1 to 4 units. Again, 5 or more is going to require 25% down. Next slide. So how do they access funds for this, right? Because you're out there door knocking, you just talked to someone, maybe you know of an investment that's really a good deal for them. They can get it out of their own savings, which everyone knows. They can sell a property. They can do a cash out refi. They can do a second, pull out money. They don't want to touch the first because they locked into a low interest rate. We can do HE loans or HELOCs to access their funds for their purchase. Remember, all they have to do is qualify for the funds out of their property on the seconds, their primary. They don't qualify for the other one, right? So you can pull cash out for any reason, and then you can now use those funds for an investment. Next slide. So here are some options on second trust deeds because people do have a lot of equity, especially people who bought 10 years ago, even 5 years ago today. They have 40% equity. They're sitting on a lot of equity that's just doing nothing for them. So as their real estate professional, you're showing them what they can do with that equity that's non-liquid. They can tap into it and use it for an investment. We will go owner occupied, we'll go 90% cash out. Max, what we call CLTV, that's combined loan to value. That means first and second is 90%, right? We look at the value. What do you have on the first? And then we're going to go 90%. What does that space look like? That's what that HE loan or HE lock will look like. And we'll do it up to 750. We are now getting investors that will do $1 million plus on a second. So those are case-by-case situations. You can do a HE loan on a non-owner occupied. People who have investment properties that are looking to buy more investment properties. We'll go 80% CLTV so they can suck cash out to buy another one. And again, we will do multi-units, 5 to 12 units, but we're capped 75%. And we do have to have a DCR on those of 1% or better. All right. Some investors will allow you to go a little bit less than that, but you do need to at least have a break even. Next slide. So I wanted to show you, like, this is a real life example that just closed a few months ago. It was presented to me where we were trying to do a buy before you sell. And I've come out here and told you about the buy before you sell programs. And they're expensive. They're about 2.25% of the sale price. You sell $1 million home, that's a 22.5 fee that you're going to pay to the agency to help you do this. So I had a client that wanted to buy a property, but didn't want to pay that fee. And they knew they could sell their house like that, but they wanted to buy before they sold, right? So we did this loan on them. They had $1 million value on their property. They only owe $200,000 on their first currently. I set them up with a HELOC of 80% combined loan to value. That gave me a $600,000 second cash out. They then used that money and bought a 1.5 SFR that they wanted to live in, but we said it was a rental. They put the $600,000 down. They had a $900,000 loan. They were at 60% LTV. It was 1 unit. It was a negative cash flow because with that, the payment was about $6,500. The rents were about $5,800. So it was below 1, but it was above 7.75. We got them a rate at 7%. Now they put their property on the market. They sold it within a month. They closed within a month after that. They took the rest of the proceeds and paid down their principal balance, another $200,000. Now they're sitting at $700,000. And they're just waiting for the market to change and rates to go down. And we're going to refi them off that 7% because now it's not non-owner, it's owner occupied, and it's a conforming loan amount, and the rates will be better sometime in the near future. So it's a win-win. It's thinking outside of the box. This is just creative financing using an investment loan. So even if someone who's thinking about selling today can still use this product to buy their next product or property, buying it before they sell their property. Next slide. So that is a DSCR loan in its simplicity form. I mean, there's a little bit more nuances, but I encourage you guys to call me, stop by. Love to talk to your clients. But when you're out there, just remember, 25% of all transactions are investment transactions. So if you're not talking this game with them, you may be leaving a transaction on the table. Any questions? All right, guys.
Awesome.
That's it.
Chris. All right, rapid fire. I know we're a little over our time. National Donut will be this Friday, 8:30 to 11 o'clock. Swing by the front desk if you want a sweet donut. All right, next slide. Contract class. I'm going to be going over the Section 8 vouchers. Okay, it's a new presentation that was created by the California Association of Realtors. So this Friday, June 5th, 10:30 here. It is recorded and it is also on Zoom if you cannot physically make it here. Next slide. Also, if you're interested, on June 18th, Hermosa Beach at the Comedy and Magic Club, the PV office has graciously provided us an invitation if we'd like to be part of that. All the proceeds go directly to KW Cares. It's $25. Natalie?
Gray BMW that is parked next door at Remax, and they're going to tow it away. I
Okay.
have a picture, so if that is your car, I would recommend moving it.
Yeah, if you have a gray vehicle, please make sure not to park on the other side. There's sticklers there. Okay, so. Ray Honda Civic and a BMW. All right. So if you're interested, please scan the QR code. A couple of us are already going. It's going to be great. If you haven't been there, it's here in Hermosa. Jay Leno does a lot of stuff there. So
We don't was there last night.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I don't know who the comedians are going to be at this date, but if you're interested, please join us. Next slide. And then on June 18 from 12 to 1 p.m., I don't know if you remember, she came in. She was from Texas. So California to cash flow. Why Texas is the place to invest. It will be a lunch and learn from 12 to 1 here at the office. So if you're interested, please make sure to be here. Next slide. Yes.
I'm doing a class next week after the team meeting on probate. It's
okay.
It's a niche domination for probate. So if anybody's interested in in probate niche, it'll be right after the team meeting next.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. All right. And that concludes our team meeting. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.